Hello students, welcome to today's video. This is your classroom live learning for life. Today we discuss about rotation and revolution of earth. This is the ICSE class 9 geography chapter 2, the movement of the earth. So earth has primarily two types of movements, that is rotation and revolution. The movement of sun, moon and other heavenly bodies gives an impression that all these bodies are moving while we are stationary. We are thinking that these sun, moon and other heavenly bodies are moving and we are stationary. Actually, we do not realize that it is the earth that is constantly moving, and along with the earth, we are also moving or rotating in the same speed. That is why we do not feel the movement of the earth. Okay, so when we see that the heavenly bodies like sun, moon and all are moving, actually they are not moving but we are moving because earth is rotating. So with the same speed of this rotation, we are also moving with the earth. That is why we cannot experience the movement of the earth. But all the heavenly bodies are held together in space by the gravitational force of each other. Okay, these heavenly bodies are having gravitational force and they attract each other, and that is why they are held together. They are not falling down. The Earth's gravitational force holds the moon and the artificial satellites in the orbits. Because of the Earth's gravitational force, the moon is revolving around it, or moon is rotating around it, and the artificial satellites are held together by not falling down. They also are in their own orbits revolving the earth because of the gravitational force of the earth. Now we are going to explain more about the rotation and revolution of earth. So first of all, we have to learn that earth has two types of movements. One is rotation and the other is revolution. Okay, the movement of earth on its own axis from west to east is known as rotation. This is the axis of the imaginary axis of earth. Okay, so in this, on this axis from west to east, so this is the direction of the rotation from west to east. Okay, earth rotates in this axis, so this movement is known as rotation. Okay, so the period of one rotation is 23 hours 56 minutes and 4.09 seconds. So roughly we calculate it as 24 hours or 1 day. The Earth's movement on its axis from west to east is rotation, and one rotation takes 24 hours to complete. Okay. Now, this rotation causes day and night. Okay, this is how it is causing day and night and all we are explaining the next slide. Okay, now coming to revolution. The movement of Earth around the sun along its orbit is known as revolution. You can see this is the sun. This is the elliptical orbit of the Earth. Okay, it revolves around the sun. This movement of Earth is known as revolution. The movement of Earth along its orbits around the sun is known as revolution. Now the period of one revolution is 365.25 days or 365 1 by 4 days. So how this 1 by 4 day is calculated? You can see that 1 by 4 day means it is 6 hours. So after every 4 years, this 6 hours added to the month of February, and that is why we are getting a leap year with 29 days in February. Okay, so this 1 by 4 day is equal to 6 hours. So this after 4 years we are getting 6 into 4. Okay, 24 hours that we add to the February month, and we are getting 29 days in February, and that year is the leap year. So every 4 years we are getting one leap year. Okay, so because of the revolution, the different climates are happening. You know that this also we are going to explain. Now rotation of the earth. See here you can see earth is spherical in shape and its direction of rotation is from west to east. You can see the arrow mark drawn from west to east. Like this earth is rotating. This is the plane orbit of the earth. Okay. Now, because of the spherical shape of the earth, you can see that from sun rays are, where the sun rays are falling, that place experience day. So you can see that this is the part where sun rays are falling, and this part experiences day. And the opposite part, you can see here, it is dark, and that is why this part experiences night. Okay, so earth rotates from west to east like this, and wherever you can see that wherever the sun's rays falls, there it is day, and the opposite side it is night. Okay, now we can go to the next part and we can see how the day and night occur. Clearly we can see here, see the sun rays falling, see these areas getting vertical sun rays. That means the sun rays falling vertically on this part, and that is why these areas will be very hot. Okay, and the sunrise coming this side, the sun rays have to travel long distance. When it comes, the amount of heat received will be very less. Okay, and here also. So this is how the sun rays are falling on earth. Okay, the opposite side you can see this is night. And this line, the center line, this is known as the circle of illumination, and this is the boundary, shows the clear demarcation or marking of day and night. Okay, now the effects of rotation. What are the results of rotation? The first result is the apparent movement of the sun. Okay, that means the sun rising and the sun setting. We know that sun rises in the east and sun sets in the west. See, is it true? Actually, sun never sets or rises. It is an illusion. So because of the rotation of the earth, we feel that, or we experience that sun rises in the east and sets in the west. Actually, it is not sun rising or setting, it is the earth rotates. Because of that only we feel that sun rising and setting. That is the first effect of rotation. Okay, next is the variation in temperature on earth's surface. I have already explained that. See, the variation of temperature on earth's surface, the sun rays falling vertically, whichever places getting sun rays vertically, that place is very hot. That means more heat absorbed by these areas. Okay, now when it comes to the poles, the north pole and the south pole, you can see that the sun rays at slanting position. Okay, it comes in slanting position, or it travels a long distance. That is why when it comes here, the earth will, the heat will be very less. So that the north pole and south pole is always very cold. Okay, now because of the earth's rotation and its spherical shape, it receives different amount of heat in different places. This causes different types of climate. Okay, so according to the heat received by the earth's surface, different climate is observed or experienced. You can see here equatorial regions are always getting sun rays vertically, so that areas are very hot. I have explained this in my previous video. You can check it also for getting more information. Okay, how the earth's surface is receiving different amount of heat from the sun. Okay, now next result is the Coriolis effect, or the next effect is the Coriolis effect. This is very important, which you have to be very carefully studied. Okay, see what is Coriolis effect, or what is Coriolis force, or what is Farrell's law. These three questions answer is the same answer. These three questions, whenever you get these three terms or questions in your question paper, you have to see that these three questions answer is the same. So what is Coriolis effect? In northern hemisphere, all the moving bodies, okay, this is the northern hemisphere, all the moving bodies, like for example, it can be ocean current, it can be wind, or it can be any form of precipitation. Okay, these moving bodies are deflected towards the right in the northern hemisphere and towards the left in the southern hemisphere. How this happen is because of the Coriolis force occurred due to the rotation of the earth. Okay, this effect or this deflection of moving bodies is known as Coriolis effect. But what is Coriolis force? The force occurred by the rotation of the earth, which causes the deflection of wind and ocean currents to right in northern hemisphere and left in the southern hemisphere. Hope you understood. Okay. Now, why this force is named after Coriolis, or named as Coriolis force? So this is first described by a French physicist, Gustave Coriolis, and hence named after him. So about this force, or about this effect, first it is studied and described by Gustave Coriolis, a French physicist and meteorologist. Okay, so that this force is named after him. Now, this is also known as Farrell's law. What is Farrell's law then? Again, the same answer you are supposed to write. Farrell's law states that in northern hemisphere, the moving bodies like ocean currents and winds or the forms of any precipitation deflected to the right side in the northern hemisphere and the left side to the southern hemisphere. This law is known as the Farrell's law. Now, why this is known as the Farrell's law, or how it is named after Farrell? So William Farrell was an American meteorologist who has developed many theories regarding this effect or force. That is why it is known as Farrell's law. So keep in mind that Coriolis effect, Coriolis force, and Farrell's law are same. When you get the question paper, you have to keep in mind, you have to write the same answer. Okay. So next, fourth effect of rotation is the centrifugal force. You might have studied what is centrifugal force and centripetal force in physics. Here we are taking only centrifugal force. The word centrifugal means, it's a Latin word, it means center, that means center. And fugere means to flee, that means flee from the center. So this is a force felt by an object moving in a curved path that acts outwardly away from the center. See, when a moving object passing through a curved path, it is attracted outwards. Okay, for example, a vehicle driving around a curve or a bike making a turn. Okay, now in the case of Earth, as the Earth rotates on its axis, it experiences a centrifugal force. That means it is going outwards from the center, directed away from its axis of rotation, and causes a bulge at the equator. You can see that the shape of the Earth bulging in the equatorial region or in the center. Because of the centrifugal force only, Earth got these areas bulged. Okay, so this is what is known as centrifugal force. When Earth rotates on its axis, it experiences a centrifugal force which is directed away from the center of its axis and causes a bulge at the equator. So this happens because of the Earth's rotation. Okay, these are the four results of rotation. So now I hope you understood what is rotation and its effects. Okay, in brief, I have explained everything. So now my next video will be about revolution and its effect. It's little more explanation is needed, and it will be little more. So that this video I am explaining only about rotation. Okay, so if you like this video or if it is helpful for you, you please like and share it with your friends and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next video. Thank you.